You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Couch Potatoes. It's slightly different,
yeah,
only because of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I can't do 80 synth.
I'm Alex.
This is Morrison,
and we are going to be diving into the season 3 of Stranger Things, finally catching up on everything. And then after this episode, I'll finally allow myself to start watching season 4. And I've been seeing a lot of good shit about it.
It's so good.
Oh, you've already watched? I was like, I don't care if you just started watching it, because you're real good at, like, if you see something, not giving away spoilers, and like even explaining something very well detailed and not giving away spoilers. So even if you had, I wouldn't have cared.
I do like some people telling me, like, you're like a trailer when you tell somebody something.
Oh, you are, man.
Yeah. Oh, man, you don't understand, man. Let's hype this shit up.
Well, it's because you will set the scene. You'll be like, dude, the fucking trailer started with fucking Sweet Child of Mine playing, and then you got the crawl in, and Thor sitting underneath the seat, and it's like when you're looking at him, man, you just see you paint a picture, man, which is perfect for a podcast.
Well, that's what I like about Stranger Things. It's a lot. I could argue Stranger Things, especially season 3, is a very long music video.
Oh man, yeah.
Especially as 80s as fuck as this new season is. This season is, because it's 1984. The new season. We've come out about a year later, and back when we left off, it was, Sean Astin had died. The government had stepped in. 11 was able to close the gate.
Yep. Supposedly fixing everything, closing up all the Demogorgons and all the bad things.
And so you kind of get a solace ending, because season 1's ending was a monster. This is the gateway to the monster. And this new one is the big bad. So if you look at it as, like, let's say a video game, it's
because the teaser, because the teaser at the very end was at the school dance. They kind of zoom out and they go to the upside down. You see the big monster the big mind flayer looming over the school. A
spider-esque looking character, like a Cthulhu character, or a very H.P. Lovecraft looking character.
There you go.
Which I do love the design and the artwork of that, because if you've ever read any H.P. Lovecraft books, Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that, he has a lot of references to even modern horror, even to past horror, of creature design and just that looking into the dark. You're not sure what you're looking at, but he was able to describe it to a T. And going into this, I'm excited. Like, I'll tell you this: when I first started watching, I watched it all at once. I sat down and watched the whole season.
Yep,
because it felt like a very long movie.
It really did. And like I said, watching basically season 2 and 3 back to back, I kind of got a little bit of a different vibe, of course, from season 3, because, they went a lot more technicolor. But in a way, it felt like they tried rebooting a little bit. So let me explain. And I didn't really go into this in season 2, because I really wanted to kind of focus on season 3 with this, because I feel like they reverted some of the characters' growth. So for instance, in season 2, Dustin gets dentures to fix his teeth. By season 3, it's not even mentioned, but he's got his teeth missing again.
Yeah,
he's not wearing his dentures. So I thought that was an odd continuity flip back. Then I was like, what? I mean, it feels like he would be more confident with his teeth.
I could just see it as, like, they didn't add it in there, but you know how I am with $1 Like, he's a kid; he's not going to wear that shit all the time. Is it? But it
just feels like
a retainer almost. Like, he's not going to read it all the time.
Right, but he's definitely kind of he's bold and he's a passionate character, but he still has a little bit of that internal questioning that every young boy has at that time. And part of that insecurity does kind of come from his teeth. So it just feels like with that newfound confidence he got at the very end with Steve and at the dance, he would almost want to embrace keeping it because he feels like he's grown and matured from it. So that's just almost a small, mild gripe. My biggest one is with Hopper.
Really?
I feel like Hopper's character almost got assassinated in this season.
Really?
Because it felt like such a growth. From season 1, Hopper being that hardened, cop where he's just like, I'm sick of this shit. By the end of it, kind of saving 11 was kind of like his redemption for his daughter, and then giving her the bracelet in the next season, and you see him being a lot softer throughout season 2. He's a lot more caring, even when 11 is doing things to intentionally go against his wishes. All of his reactions are still a lot more soft when it comes to her, as you saw him being in season 1.
Yeah, well, that's something that people don't really talk about, and I'll talk about just for a second. When you have a redemption arc, the story ends.
Right.
Period. So Hopper becomes a grizzled cop, and his redemptive qualities save the day, and now he gets what he wants. He gets a family.
Yeah.
It is a pseudo-family, but it's a family.
Exactly.
No one talks about what happens after that, where a character must change because there's no reason to be the former revengeanist, hero anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a story of like Bruce Wayne after the Batman. He's just a calm old man, just chills and hangs out and trains a guy. That's it. He's not going out there kicking people to death. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even, it happens in the Spider-Man stories too. He becomes a little less bold when he has a family because he's got to protect it now.
Right.
But in this arc, he is the hero seasons 1 and then season 2, and with the responsibility, now he has to change his dynamic. He can't be risking his ass because he's got a child to take care of.
Right.
Not only a child, but the other antagonist or other protagonists of the story.
And all of that is fine. That's not where I have the problem. It's the way he's now acting in season 3. He was acting with a bit more of a softer resolve toward everyone and everything in season 2. In season 3, he's like bitching at 11. He's back to like his old fuck you cop ways,
Well,
like on to almost a turn of a dime.
Yeah, because he's beaten. Because now he's no longer the hero. Remember, this is a year. This is 1 year of not having to kick the shit out of people. This is 1 year of not having to deal with monsters. 11 is a teenage child.
Yeah, it's like, and I totally didn't mind maybe his
going to be beat down by that.
Yeah, and I didn't mind him being a bit more brash and rude toward like keep the door open.
I love that shit. That's hilarious.
Him being a bit more uptight on that. Totally believable. Those aren't the scenes I'm talking about. It's the scenes that he's even like interacting with the adults. He's just being a lot more wise ass and cocky, which is still a fun character trait. He was still fun to watch, but watching the 2 seasons back to back, it just felt like such a harsh jump because I really did go from like the last episode of season 2 directly into the first season of season 3, or first episode of season 3 rather. So maybe with enough time that had passed, like in real life, it would have maybe felt a little better, but it did just feel like a hard jump watching them back to back.
I don't know. It feels like they try to make him the Sean Astin character just a little bit, a little bit softer, a little bit easier going.
Yeah, but the softer is gone in this season, in my opinion.
Yes, this is 80s as fuck.
Yep. It kicks off basically a little bit of like a year flashback. In June 84, Soviet scientists are attempting to force open a new gate to the Upside Down. And then 1 year later in Hawkins, the popularity of the new Starcourt Mall has forced many local businesses to close, angering the townspeople, which doesn't really go too far, but it does kind of set up that the mall is a big presence in the town.
It kind of gives you a little history lesson about what the mall is. So we hear a lot of complaining about, the small businesses are gone. It's like, well, of course they're gone. They can't compete. But the mall, which is actually a stupid fucking name. So when they came up with the name The Mall, it was, we need to have all the stores in one spot.
Right.
We need to have them all. Them all is actually the mall.
Is that really where that came from?
Yes.
I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to trust you. But like
Yes.
people in the Discord, folks
can
on
look it up,
Twitter,
too.
Facebook, anywhere you see
I
this.
watched a whole fucking documentary series about towns and abandoned malls, and the guy did a deep dive into the guy who created the basic mall, which was started off as a strip mall.
Yeah.
Which he didn't like it because it was too exposed on the outside. He said we need to put it all under one roof. And someone said that would be fucking stupid. He's like, why? It's safe to walk inside. It's dangerous to walk outside. He said, what if we made a hospital but with stores? And that was his goal. It's also part of what's called corporatocracy, created by Walt Disney, which is a village that's a corporate village where you can live and work in the same space, which was kind of a great idea. If you think about early days mall in like mid 80s, it's like, hey, you're working the fucking record shop. Hey, Alex, it's 4:00. Go ahead and get off. Where are you going to go? You can go somewhere in the mall.
Exactly.
And it's safe because it's inside. All right. So, because like in the 80s, you have the crime scares. You get it from the 70s and it goes into the 80s. It says, oh, no, you can't trust your neighbor. So why is it downtown is less safe? It's because people are outside. People are allowed to roam the streets. And guess what? Streets are no longer streets. They're roads now.
We are going so far off topic, man. I like letting you ride, but I'm having to really end
I'll
at
stop
this
right
point.
there. I'll stop right there.
This is only they don't go that in depth about the mall. There's more important things that are happening about the mall.
The main part about the mall is it's destroying small town. It's destroying the outside part where Winona Ryder's character is working.
Right.
Her store gets closed. That's gone. Now, I do like the whole open jump into it. Like, bam, they're in the mall. The kids are running, and then there's that part where they sneak into the movie theater that's in the mall, and Dawn of the Dead is playing.
Yes.
And it does the whole like zombie, the dream sequence, and it's like, oh man, that's fucking awesome. And then they sneak through there, sneak through here, and it's a nice little maze. And it's like, that would be fucking awesome if that still existed.
Oh yeah.
But there's no need for it now. And
we've had many an episode about that.
Yeah. And the music playing in the background sets the scene perfect. I can't remember the song that's playing.
I don't either, but honestly, yeah, the soundtrack on all 3 seasons so far have really been great.
Yeah, because they're pulling all from the 80s, and I know the new song that's on the new season is topping the charts now, which is fucking hilarious. But now this one, Dustin's been gone for the summer.
Yep, he returns back from summer camp and with his missing teeth.
You know why you don't need them teeth? Because he's got a girl on the internet.
That's right.
On the radio.
But it's set up the entire time as if she might not be real.
Oh, yeah,
because every time he tries to radio her, she just doesn't respond, and all the guys are just like, right. But before all that happens, let's see. Because I thought this was the one where all of a sudden, like, all the robots kind of lead him into the living room.
Well, that's what they do.
That's what I thought.
They go to the mall and they're like, "Hey, Dustin's home." So they all go to his house and hide in his house, which is breaking and entering.
Well, I mean, everyone was coming and going in their friends' houses.
Yeah. It's not like there's a mutant that's in the group that could kill him.
It's a good one.
Hey, let's scare the living shit out of him, thinking this man's seen aliens and shit. Let's make him think there's a robot revolution. Just like let's take the kid who's really into fantasy and just scare the shit out of him. Yeah, and she does she takes the retro robot toys and they slowly walk toward him like a fucked up version of Small Soldiers, and like. I would have kicked the shit out of you, bald bitch. And Mike, you're fucking next. That's what I would have done. I would just be like, "We'll kill both of you, motherfuckers."
And then he winds up trying to let his folks know about his friend, his girlfriend Susie. But instead of getting her, he intercepts a Russian transmission. Will then privately senses that the mind flayer actually may still be alive. And at that point, rats congregate in the old mill and explode into an organic mass on their way. And then the best fucking part is Billy has been working as a pool lifeguard. Hey, remember his intro scene, Chris?
Oh, God, yeah. You can't beat that shit. Dude, you have the fucking power haircut,
Yep.
fucking aviators.
Great hair.
Dude,
Best. Between him and Steve.
Dude, he could have just pointed at some someone's mom and been like, "This is happening."
Well, that's basically what wound up
Nancy's
happening.
mom.
Yeah.
She's and I will say Nancy's mom still got it. Like, she's gorgeous.
Nancy's mom has got it going on.
But like, you think like, man, she's gonna cheat on her fucking husband, like, you fucking bitch.
I mean, she was about to go through with it too.
Yeah, until the rats got him.
Yep.
And the old meal too, which is the another like that Stephen King-esque, like just old school horror. It's just like, oh no, that's the abandoned cotton mill. It's just like, what's in there? Maybe an evil clown. I don't fucking know.
But your ass is getting drug into it now.
Yeah, it's just like, that was a safe place to do drugs. And they ruined it, and they fucking ruined it by putting the demon in there. It's like,
which just immediately rolls on into episode 2. Billy escapes the mill after the creature induces a vision of the Upside Down, where he meets his doppelganger. Tormented by further visions and voices, Billy is guided by the creature into kidnapping his fellow lifeguard, Heather Holloway, and bringing her to the creature that kidnapped him.
yeah, this turns into an invasion of the body snatchers type situation where,
Which is so cool.
yeah, and
also, for once, good on Will. Mm-hmm. He's good this season.
yeah,
The kid
he's not
needed
having a
break.
mental fucking breakdown.
No, he's okay.
No, he's okay.
He's just working as like Peter Parker that doesn't want to become Spider-Man. He's just like, my Demogorgon senses are tingling.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm just letting you know.
And what's crazy is like, while this is going on, we get just like a little bit of backstory on a couple other ones, like especially in the first season, like Hopper is kind of a dick toward Mike.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you dating my fucking daughter. At no point does Mike just look at him and said, we all have killed extraterrestrial characters together.
We have a bond that no other kids were going to have.
Do you want her to hang out with some rando dude? He might call her, I don't know, fucking nuts.
Yeah.
like she's a fucking X-Man or some shit. I think it's good if we all just stick together, Hop.
Yeah.
And just say just give him the finger.
It's like, we're all going to know each other the rest of our lives, okay?
Oh, yeah,
when shit like this happens, we stay in contact.
This is like the people that survived like a cruise sinking or some shit.
Yes.
It's like there's only like 13 left of them. It's like, oh yeah, we were all there. We were all doing this shit.
Oh yeah, they still get together once a year on another cruise.
Yeah.
And reminisce.
I'm surprised Mike just didn't give him the finger and shut the door. Now, if it was in the 80s and it was now, yeah, that would have happened. He would have just shut the door. Fuck you, cop.
And also, let's. Okay, no, I was gonna say it's Will's mom. It was
Mike's.
Do what?
It's Mike's mom and Nancy and Mike.
Well, no. I was gonna say with Hopper trying to take Joyce out on a date. Yeah,
This he's got a daughter with a mental issue, and now he wants to date a woman with a mental issue. He likes what he likes. You know, like you're saying, like
Hopper has a type. You're saying?
Yeah, crazy.
But no,
you know that motherfucker's into some weird PTSD type situation he has.
Oh yeah,
and I bet when the new season he's fucking just nuts. He's gone. Like mentally, he's gone. He's checked out. He probably speaks Russian or some shit. Like,
but during that time, Nancy and Jonathan working as interns at the Hawkins Post.
I love that.
Yeah,
they just look so fucking innocent, and you're just like, these people have killed other people.
Oh yeah,
and they're really cool at it.
They're fucking with them. They're good.
They're fucking in stranger houses and shit. That's what they do.
Oh yeah.
Just like Nancy and her guy Ed Furlong, power couple of Hawkins.
Yes. They're investigating the home of Mrs. Driscoll, an elderly woman concerned about rabid rats eating her fertilizer, and they overlook one of the rats exploding. And at that point, Max and Eleven bond to distract themselves from Mike and Lucas while shopping at the Star Court. And Eleven breaks up with Mike after he lies to her about to avoid seeing her after Hopper threatens him. Because,
this turns into the boys versus girls type situation, which I liked. And I just love Max's first response. Like, man, fuck him.
She's just like, girl time, fuck that boy, let's go get you a makeover at the mall.
Yeah.
And which of course they run into the boys at the mall.
Yeah. And I'm surprised she didn't use her powers on him just to be a dick. And I'm just like, oh, you bitch. Even Lucas was like, Max, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You need to chill the fuck out, girl.
And even Lucas is trying to get with that too, but even he's just like, girl, chill. Like, I don't want you acting like this toward me.
Yeah, that's when Lucas is going to look at Mike in front of God. Everybody, man, bitches be crazy.
I like that they started kind of giving Lucas a little bit more to do as the seasons went on.
Lucas and his sister take a more prominent role, which
his sister was awesome.
I know she's got, from what I understand, she does have a bigger role in the next season, but it's needed because the group needs to expand because we keep losing people in the group. Every new person dies, which is fucked up, you know. Yeah. Barb, Sean Astin, you know, even the weird Russian dude in this one. But
Justice for Bob.
Justice for Bob. Goddamn, I'm going to spin off of Bob and underneath just murdering people. Yeah. He's the new bad guy. He's like, you left me to die, you bitch. It's a combination of him and Barb.
But yeah, so that does kind of flap back to, you know, why didn't Mike just kind of flip Hopper off and be like, fuck you, dude. And at the same time, why wouldn't he just like reel with 11 and be like, yo, Hopper's like threatening me to like not see you anymore? Why couldn't he even be upfront with her about that?
Would you tell a mentally unstable woman with powers that some guy's telling you who you can and can't be around?
That's an open-ended question because someone like 11, I feel like I would be able to trust because Hopper is now basically her surrogate father.
She's a 13-year-old girl who's mentally insane.
Yes, but she does have her lines. Mm-hmm. She has her stopping points. And she really does consider Hopper someone she loves, even if she doesn't fully understand what that term means. The head and the heart.
I still wouldn't trust her.
Connected.
I still don't trust her.
I don't think she's risked herself for Hopper, no matter how much he's pissed her off. So I don't think she would do anything.
She's got a loaded gun in her fucking head.
Oh, come on. Maybe Millie Bobby Brown offset.
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard she's a bitch.
Yeah, so maybe offset, but not 11. So we might be conflating the two just slightly. But yeah, either way. And at that point, Joyce recognizes the strange loss of magnetism among objects in her home and workplace.
This is what I have a problem with Joyce. Leave. Just fucking leave. All right,
they do at the end of the season.
I don't give a shit. As soon as she got her son back, she should have just packed her shit and left, because this poor woman is being haunted by the underneath or whatever the fuck, upside down.
Yeah.
The whole fucking series. Hell. Years. She's like the unlucky chick in fucking Hellraiser. It's just like, I picked up the box by accident. I'm sorry. God damn it. And they're just like, bitch, you're coming with us because you got the box. And it's just like, no, you don't understand. And then I'll go into the tangent. On the second movie, she does the same goddamn thing. And they're just like, you're a lying little cunt. You've been doing this the whole time. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Joyce, just fucking leave.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree.
All right, you're not Sarah Connor from the Terminator, man. You're not going to survive the apocalypse every fucking movie, man.
Yes, don't go so far.
Not really. She's having mental breaks. Her house is exploding.
But yeah, so she's noticing all the loss of the magnets on her fridge at the house, and she starts noticing it out in public. And because she's starting to turn into a Looney Tune again, which again also feels like a revert back to season 1. Because it felt like Joyce kind of had it together a little bit more in season 2. Like, oh shit, it's happening again. Let's knock this shit out and do it right. Mm. It feels like she's back to just her frantic from season 1.
Yeah, she should be frantic. It's like, this is happening again.
Yeah, but if we're seeing character growth, this seems like just another character that kind of fell backward in their growth some. I don't know.
And it seems like she has PTSD because she obviously should.
Yeah, you're right.
Remember, because he got gaslit for like 4 episodes saying her son was dead. But so Dustin and them, they reunite with Steve.
Yes.
Who's working at the ice cream place. Which
Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy. What a fucking name.
I know. I love it.
And he looks goofy as shit.
Yes.
He reminds me of Judge Reinhold's character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where he's dressed like a pirate.
Well, see, what I love about it is because at the end of season 2, he's really set up to kind of like, be the new hero. He's totally rocked it out with the kids, been the best babysitter ever. Mm-hmm. So, you kind of expect him to, and even like the school, didn't he win like prom king or something like that.
Probably. I didn't pay that.
I can't remember, but there's something big happened for Steve at the end of season 2 where it kind of left it on a note of like, all right, what's the cool kid going to be up to now? He's looking like a dork at Scoops Ahoy. So it's like that. I loved that. That was great.
It's fucking hilarious. And Robin steals the fucking show.
She's awesome.
She's just like, your best friend's a child. And I'm just like, oh, fuck you, bitch.
You don't get it.
You don't get it. We fought Satan together.
Yeah. Another prime example where, again, taking it from her point of view, not knowing the background, that is a little weird.
Yeah.
But again, it don't matter now that the teenager's friends with the kid. It's like, yo, we killed monsters together.
Yeah.
Back the fuck out of this.
We've all had a shared hallucination event.
Yes.
We all did DMT together. But
you don't get it.
Well, Robin actually has a lot of kind of like secret abilities almost.
A little bit.
So like she brings up the whole, oh no, that's Russian, it's Cyrillic. She knows the Cyrillic alphabet, which is a backwards ass alphabet they have,
because that's how they end this episode. Is the three winds up translating a Russian radio message and determine that it must be a code, and that's kind of how they
and that's how they reintroduce Lucas's sister too.
Yeah,
because she's just like, no, I want another one, and I'm just like, you cunt. She's getting the free taste test. She's like getting tastes of everyone. She's like, why would I pay for a fucking scoop of ice cream when I get a taste of everyone? And I'm just like, if I was Steve, I'd be like, leave. Fucking leave. Just take off the hat. Walk around the bench. You know, just
leave. This is the 80s. Yeah. So then, episode 3 rolls around. 11 uses her powers to spy on Mike. That's fucking weird.
Yes. I'm just like, she's just chilling with Max, and Max is cool with that.
Yeah.
Nah, son.
Because they were doing like their fun little pranking on different people, which also. Basically, the same way she was spying on Mike was the same way they were pranking other people, which, again, the weird implications of that is like, 11 need a butt out of people's business. It's a little weird.
Yeah. And so while she's doing this, she accidentally pops over to Billy. And Billy, he's not good.
No.
And
because he's got the evil in him, he senses 11.
He sees her quick. And it's just like, when I got excited for that part, I'm like, yeah, fight this motherfucker. Let's see what you... Because you know he'd kick the shit out of her. He would kick the shit out of her.
I don't know, man. 11's got it.
Not with this, like, when he's like, when you realize, like, oh, he's part of it. No. This is going to be a knockdown, drag out. Because Billy, if we remember, is a sadist. All right? If they had showed, like, a cutaway, deleted scene of him, like, killing a squirrel and been like, yeah, he's the next Ted Bundy. Yeah, yeah, that's totally cool with him. Like, he's a monster of a human being. But going into the next episode, you know, or just the same episode.
Yeah. It's episode 3.
So Nancy and Jonathan are trying to figure out who's been stealing all the goddamn fertilizer.
Yep.
And I do like that it's 2 different avenues. It could be, you know, supernatural for them, which is their first guess.
Yes.
It's obviously
like, they're back.
It's like, yeah, it's back. They're eating fertilizer. It's like, no, it's still batshit insane, but it's a little bit down to earth.
Yeah,
I know you guys are dealing with the gateways to hell. I get it. I would have PTSD too,
but
of hellhounds coming out of the ground and eating my friend's stepdad.
Yeah.
Like,
however,
it's not always that. Sometimes it's the goddamn Russians. Okay,
and this time it's the goddamn Russians.
It's always the fucking Russians.
Let's see. Robin decodes the Russian communication, pointing to a shipment arriving at the Sun Court later that night. She, Steve, and Dustin spot armed Russian soldiers making a delivery. And one of the cool things I liked about that scene was when they were trying to decode the message. They were like, where, is it going to be, why is it being delivered at the mall? This, that, and the other. When the message stops for a second, you hear a little bit of the music, and Robin immediately calls it out. She's like, "That's the mall music."
Yeah,
and at that point, that's like when it all really sinks in on them. They're like, "Oh shit." It's coming from inside the house.
Yeah. And I do like that's the backdrop.
Yeah.
Because they're using, like, this is going to sound kind of off kilter, but using the the most capitalist fucking thing to hide the Russians.
Oh yeah.
Like the most elaborate invention of American society, which is the mall, hiding the enemy underneath it.
Yep.
And I just love that it's all underneath the mall, and it bothered me at first when I saw like that's fucking stupid. Then they show the mayor, and it's like, yep, that makes total fucking sense. Yep, this piece of shit sold the town out.
Yep. And Robin, let's see, Joyce convinces Hopper that the demagnetization stems from an electronic device that should be located at the abandoned Hawkins lab. Then when they go to investigate, Hopper is attacked by I can't pronounce his name, and I forget exactly how they say it. Grigori.
Yeah.
A Russian soldier. And
he's like the Terminator.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to some interviews with the directors and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, we found our Terminator, and he's going to be in season 3."
Yeah, it another '80s callback.
Yep.
This unstoppable Russian man. And I like how Joyce's first thought. Yeah, it's coming from the lab on the hill.
Yeah.
Not inside the town.
Nope.
Yeah, because you remember Hopper was under in the Upside Down. Mm-hmm. He saw it.
Yeah,
and
he knows what's there.
Yeah, but it correlates to whatever's on the other side.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just, and it kind of bothered me of like investigation wise. Hopper could have just been like, Joyce, it could just be the mall. Electromagnetic interference. It could just be all the power being produced by the mall.
Very true.
That's all it could be, Joyce. I tell you what, why don't you have a drink with me tonight, and we'll just chill the fuck out.
Well, they tried that already.
Because Joyce is insane.
And because of that, he wound up getting stood up by her because she was freaking the fuck out about magnets.
Yes. And I'm just like, you stop choosing crazies.
Yeah, I mean, the man's got to.
Nancy's mom wants to get some strange. Go look for her.
Well, leading to that, Max and 11 track down Billy and Heather at the home of Heather's parents.
This was the coolest horror scene.
Yes.
Was them killing their parents, the Heather's parents. And I'm just like, it's so fucking brutal, but it's like, it's so awesome. Like, 'cause it gives such a good horror vibe of the whole series in general, which it hits or miss a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Season 2 did such a good job. Season 1 was perfect when they're running around the school and shit that. But this one hits at a different level because it gives the whole backdrop of a conspiracy. But with this right here is a separate entity altogether. So if you think about it, they've doubled the amount of antagonists in the story. So now it's not only Russians doing some nefarious shit. Now it's Billy, the real monster.
Yep. And Billy and Heather subdue her parents, which Will senses, now making him realize that the mind flayer is alive.
If I was Will, I would have been same advice to Joyce. Hey guys, it's good knowing you. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm out. And
see ya. Deuces.
Just this is a secondary thought for this. I saw what Will looks like in the new season. They did him wrong.
Oh yeah.
He looks terrible. That motherfucker is a stocky kid now. Like he is built like a motherfucker, and they decided to give him the same goddamn haircut. And I'm just like, come on, Joyce, you own more than a bowl and a pair of scissors. Like you are ruining this boy's life.
Which rolls all on into episode 4, which Billy and Heather bring her parents to the mill, which they are possessed by the mind flayer, and now a physical creature composed of the flesh from the rats. And Hopper recalls Grigori?
Yeah, Grigori.
Meeting with town mayor Larry Klein. He and Joyce force Klein to reveal that Starcourt Mall is a Russian front buying abandoned properties across Hawkins.
Now here's where we get old school Hopper.
Oh yeah, which I'm totally cool with old school Hopper coming out here.
Now the guy he's going to is played by Matthew Modine.
Yeah,
great actor. One of my favorites because Cary Elwes was the original lab guy. He was the villain.
Yeah,
but him and Matthew Modine look a lot alike in this season.
Right.
To picture this guy, if you haven't seen it, gold rimmed glasses, pinstripe suit, fucking golden tabs on his fucking suspenders, Rolex pinky ring, which you know has just a little bit of coke, like just a little. He has a coke ring. That's what it is, and he's got the gold pen in his pocket. He is he's the Gordon Gekko, evil finance man of Hawkins, and I'm just like, beat his goddamn teeth out. Like that's what I wanted. Like as soon as they show him, I'm just like, you look like a villain. Yeah. Like with the tie and the gold tip, and he's got his sleeves rolled up like he's a working man. It's like, no, you're a goddamn drug dealer. Like, you piece of shit. And that's what I liked about Hopper just coming in. It's just like, it started knocking this motherfucking down. And it's like, where's the Russian guy?
And then back at Starcourt, Dustin, Steve, and Robin, alongside Lucas's sister Erica, that's her name, discover that the mall's loading dock is an elevator which traps them beneath the mall. And now at this point, it's this is what's pretty cool, and I thought was really good writing. It gets to the point where you've got 3 separate groups. All eventually leading to the same place. Like now, it's 3 separate stories that the end point is going to be the same.
Now this is a stage of storytelling in D&D actually. So you have the intro of the characters, which we see in season 1. So every hero introduces themselves. They show their direction, what they have. Season 2 is the main direction. Let's go fight the bad guy. And this is when the dungeon master throws it out there. You got him, but the story still goes on. And then this is what's like the reprieve session of a D&D game where, all right, you guys, you go your separate ways. We'll get back together later. Right. But tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you guys are doing. And then if the dungeon master or whatever is good at their job, they will write in problems that they have to figure out before they can all get back together to fight the big bad. And
well, they're not just having to fight different problems before they can get together to fight the big bad. They're all on their own journey that's going to lead them to the same big bad. Yeah, well, that's what I think is really cool about it.
And that's part of like D&D, the storytelling wise of this, that. And a lot of movies and stuff do this. Star Wars does it more than anybody. Let's break off the characters. Let's get it, especially like Empire. Let's like, hey, Luke's over here, Han's over here, Leia's over here.
Yeah, because eventually Joyce and Hopper are going to join the gang over there. You've already got basically the Hardy Boys. They're slowly figuring shit out, and they're about to make their way to the mall. You've already got the kids at the mall slowly figuring shit out. So I always just thought that was a really cool part of the storytelling, though. Nancy and Jonathan are now fired by their boss, which is Heather's father, for harassing Mrs. Driscoll. Basically, Nancy visits Mrs. Driscoll at the hospital out of suspicion and watches her slowly become possessed by the mind flare. Now they're slowly taking over more people. Yeah, so now we get and this is all to the backdrop that keeps being mentioned in the background of there's a fair. The town fair is happening soon. But it's all to the backdrop of another event that's coming up and. In storytelling, what's the best thing, if you want to get everyone out in the open in a dangerous way, make it a community event or a town event. And a lot of horror movies do this, especially like Invasion of the Body Snatchers does this. It's, hey, everyone's out in the town square. What are they doing? Well, let's go out and see. No, don't fucking do that. And then at that point, Will reveals his connection with the mind flare to the rest of the gang, speculating that it's probably possessed Billy, and they all decide that they're going to go round up Billy and throw his ass in a sauna because they were like, the mind flare doesn't like heat. Yeah. So honestly, it's kind of stupid at thinking of it as an adult, but as a kid, that's a pretty smart plan. Let's just lock his ass in a sauna.
Let's just burn him out.
Yeah, and we'll sweat it out of him. Yeah. And then, but Billy pulls that whole, like every fucking monster demon movie does, the demon acts like the real sibling, and it's just like, he's let me out, please, it's so hot, I'm gonna die, let me out. And of course, as he uses it, it fucking works, and what's her name? Max lets them fucking out, and then it just all goes to shit from there.
But it's a good ploy. It lets you know that the antagonist, the mind flayer itself, is smart enough and villainous enough to do something like that. Let me just pull at your heartstrings and get closer to you, because that's what he did with Heather. Hey, you want to hang out with the coolest motherfucker in the town? Let's go out here to this old mill. Don't worry, ain't no demon in there. It's the old mill. It's safe. This place like great as fuck.
And then at that point, 11 swoops on in and smacks him down, and Billy flees and returns to the mill, where dozens of town people have now been possessed by the mind flayer. So he's kind of basically gathering himself up an army.
Yeah, it's a build up, which I really liked, because they are still dealing with this. Meanwhile, the others are trapped under a mall. Which at no point, that they didn't use that stupid cliche of using Erica or Lucas, like, nope. Like, they didn't do that, which I liked, because she's like, well, let's keep going, motherfuckers. Like, she's the driving force for both of them. She's like, you guys are fucking pussies. Let's just go in there. And I just love that about her character, because I hope they break that in the next season.
I hope so too. Episode 5 rolls on in with Hopper and Joyce searching out one of the abandoned properties and discovering a hidden laboratory.
A meth lab.
And then Russian Terminator tries to kill him, and they narrowly escape the hostage situation. And a Russian scientist named Alexei.
So here's our brand new character.
Yes, I loved Alexei.
Yes,
he was great.
Everyone loved him. Everyone loved Barb too, and Sean Astin. So
guess what happens to him?
If they love him, they die.
Yep.
It's like Game of Thrones.
And then Dust, Steve, Rob, and Erica arrive at the Russian lab underneath Starcourt and hide from Russian soldiers, unloading crates from the elevator. And then, attempting to find the communications room, the group discovers a large testing area where the scientists try to force open a portal to the upside down motherfucking Russians. As Alexei does not speak English, Hopper and Joyce have to take him to Murray. Get Murray again.
Murray, this conspiracy riddled man. He's just looking for validation in the stupidest fucking shit that comes out of his brain. And
that's why they had to go to him. And Russian Terminator tries to follow them, but winds up losing the trail. Nancy and Jonathan regroup with Will, Mike, Lucas, 11, and Max, and then theorize that Billy and Driscoll are both possessed by the Mind Flayer, who used them to, quote, flay, aka possess, people to now create said army that we mentioned a minute ago. And the group decide to visit Driscoll at the hospital to learn more, but finds out she is gone. They are attacked by Tom and Bruce, who are now flayed themselves and dissolve into a single organic mass resembling the Mind Flayer after Nancy and Jonathan try to kill them. This episode really did just feel a little bit more narrative-y. There wasn't like as many big things happen. This was a big okay, we kind of have to push everyone along, kind of get them to a point A, point B type episode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it feels a little rushed.
Yeah.
But, and the amount of time they have to tell a story, it is, because you remember, Nancy and Jonathan are your investigation characters.
Yep.
They're the ones finding out
the Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys. Who fuck.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Hardy Boys did too.
I don't know. Whatever fan fiction you write at home is your business. But
I'm getting a clue.
Yep. Oh shit, it's Nancy. True. But so I kind of feel for them, because it's like, all right, if they had Steve with them, the dynamic would have just changed a little bit, because Steve was like, maybe we don't go back to the fucking hospital. Yeah. Maybe we just chill the fuck out, Nancy. And Jonathan's like, nah, man, we're going there.
Let's have some ice cream.
Yeah, let's go to my job. Get some free ice cream.
It's on me, y'all. Look, scoops for everyone.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Scoops ahoy.
Scoops ahoy, brother. I mean, we got you. We killed people. I got you some ice cream.
I'm a strong single mother. But Nancy,
Ultimate Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh God! Have you seen the Adventures of Babysitting?
No.
You've never seen? Oh my God! That's the Ultimate Adventures of Babysitting. Just Elizabeth Shue pulling a gun on a subway. Get away from the kids! But she you got to remember, Nancy's always strapped too. She carries a gun in her bag, which no one says anything about. She always pulls out a heater.
I mean, I don't think anyone really cares at this point.
Yeah, but she always, Nancy, you are 19, 20 years old. Why do you always have a handgun on you? I get it. It's the 80s. That's a fucked up time period for anyone. but damn, girl, you're fucking strapped. I'm just like, and like in the most crazy situations, I understand. But I love the fact that, hey guys, we got someone with telekinesis, we got somebody who could read minds. Will can kind of see the future just a little bit. Nancy's like, fuck all that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock. And Jonathan's like, yeah, and I'll take your snuff photo. Click.
Episode 6 rolls in with 11, who is just reconciled with Mike, using her powers to incapacitate the Mind Flayer, forcing it to flee to the mill. In the Russian lab beneath Starcourt, Steve and Robin are captured, drugged, and interrogated, but Dustin and Erica manage to rescue them, which was a cool little, almost kind of like Scooby-Doo-esque.
Yeah.
Gang gets split up, grab the other people, try to get the hell back
Hey,
out.
where's Fred and Daphne? Oh, they're out fucking somewhere. Right? I bet you that's happening.
With Murray translating, Hopper and Joyce hold Lexi hostage, forcing him to reveal that the Russians are attempting to access the Upside Down, that they're now opening a portal beneath the Starcourt. Now, everyone, basically around everyone, knows what's going on.
Yes. Now, the only people who don't know what's going on are in a world of shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Hopper calls Owens to warn the U.S. government of the threat, but Joyce insists they return to Hawkins immediately, fearing that their kids may be involved. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Russian Terminator corners Klein at the Hawkins Independence Day Fair, demanding he set up efforts to find Hopper. Mike inadvertently admits his love for 11. To find the Mind Flayer, 11 uses her powers in an attempt to physically communicate with Billy, learning of his troubled childhood and finding the flare at the mill. Now,
they do a dream sequence almost.
Yeah, they do.
Which was very well done.
Back to tank scene.
Yeah. Yeah, but they do the whole like dream sequence when you see Billy with his mom.
Right.
His mom, not Max's mom. And it's kind of like a fucked up kind of thing when you find out like the bully has been treated this way, and that's why he's an ass.
Right.
But it
doesn't forgive him.
No, not by a long shot, because he is a monster of a human being. But
oh yeah.
And in the show, he's a monster.
Now he is, yeah. Monster of a human being, now become the monster.
Yeah, and I could see where they were going with it, and they hit the nail on the head. It's like, look, it's not, in like storytelling wise, they're not born that way.
Right.
But he's become that. And I think it tried to play on like the sympathies of the antagonist a little bit and the protagonist. So it basically tries to do the same thing again like it did with Max. It's like, oh no, just let me out, It tries to do that same shit with 11 on a different scale. And it doesn't work. No, it doesn't.
11's a cold-hearted bitch.
Yeah. Ice cold water running through them veins. All she eats is waffles.
That'll do something to a person,
God, can you imagine if she was around for the McGriddle?
Oh, see, she would love it.
She'd put frosting on it.
Maybe some buttercream.
Oh yeah, you go right ahead. Disgusting.
Billy then senses 11's presence, giving the Mind Flayer access to her location, which always fucking happens, and reveals that the Mind Flayer plans to kill her in revenge for closing the gate. And then the Flayed converge on the mill, dissolving into an organic mass and merging with the Mind Flayer, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
That was actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, man!
Like they didn't make it. They didn't make it look stupid. The CGI was just well enough. It was dark enough, so it kind of gives you.
It hides a little bit, maybe some imperfections.
Yeah,
and makes it look cool.
Yeah, and it does a fantastic job because you're like, okay, now we're into the final act.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The tail end of the D&D story.
And we still got 2 episodes, man.
Yeah.
How about that for a final act? 2 episodes.
Yeah.
11 and the others determine that the Mind Flayer is coming for her, since it was the one who she was the one who previously closed the gate. Well, yeah, they just told you that. Will senses the Mind Flayer approaching, and it attacks them before they flee, wounding 11. Dustin and Erica get drugged. Stephen and Robin move to the Stephen and Robin. Let's see what that. Okay.
Dustin and Erica drag a drugged Steve and Robin.
That's a fucked up sentence.
Yeah. And like them being drugged is hilarious because they're having a ball.
Oh yeah, they're giggling.
Because they put like mushrooms or something in that shit. It's like they're freaking out a little bit. But they're both having a ball.
Oh yeah.
High as fuck.
And 11's group breaks into a supermarket to help treat her wounds and gather more supplies. Dustin then contacts them over the walkie-talkie talkie to try to explain their situation before he loses battery power. 11 then uses her powers to find Dustin, and then the group take off to the mall. Now everyone's convening to the mall. Steve admits that he has feelings for Robin, but then she comes out it comes out to him that she is a lesbian.
Which I love that.
Oh yeah, it's like poor Steve is
No,
he
didn't even take it bad.
no, he didn't. He was just like, oh,
Bro. That's
Word.
what he did. Word, bro.
yeah. So yeah, I'm sure he's a little disappointed, but again, he totally rocked it, good guy style. So yeah, props to Steve again. Poor dude. Hopper's group makes their way to the fairgrounds and Hawkins to find the children. To find that the children were spotted by Klein, who alerts the Russians.
This piece of shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just like, Hopper could have killed him in that office, and no one would have found him.
That was such a cool, intense scene, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, kill this motherfucker hard.
I think it was better because he didn't kill him.
But Grigori ends up killing Alexei.
Yeah.
And shoots him in the head.
Yeah, that's kind of
with Murray beside him. It's
yeah,
just like,
it's like, damn it. And it's like,
and Murray being a paranoid schizophrenic, it's like, oh God, it's happening. The Russians are taking us.
and wasn't it like Alexei was about to get his first corn dog or something like that? Like
Yeah,
it was some cool little thing. He's like, all right, you get some fair
Alexei was
food.
having a full day of firsts.
Yes.
He had his first Slurpee. He had probably his first candy bar.
Yep. He was loving life.
Rode his first time in the back of a top-down Corvette.
America's great.
Yeah, he's riding with a top down in a car with a cop who stole some shit, like with basically an illegal couple. Like,
Yeah. So
he's living the American dream, man.
I really did just feel for him, though.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah.
Because he's the Barb character. He's the Bob character. He's like he's very likable. He doesn't have a fault.
It's like you're not supposed to like him because he's supposed to be for he's supposed to be for the bad team, but he's still kind of likable.
Yeah. But when you set the stage of, hey, you like that guy? Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's just like, I'm not even flipping a coin. I'm just putting more bullets in the gun.
Yep. Murray, Hopper, and Joyce then evade several Soviet
agents.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't trying to say that. It just, for some reason, it felt like I skipped over a word. They evade several Soviet agents and learn that the agents are looking for the children at the mall. Then 11's group arrives at the mall in time to stop the Russians from shooting Dustin's group. Everyone's just trying to convene together and just be like, I'm saving you. No, I'm saving you. But they're like, no, but there's a bigger problem in the basement.
Yeah. And this is like, so the scene, if you guys haven't seen the show, is it's a large 2-story mall. It's got the beautiful fountain in the center, escalators all going into the pavilion part of the center. The lights are out, but all that's left are the fountain lights and like what looks like purple LED lights.
Right.
But they are all in the mall together, and I just love that shot.
Yes, there is that brilliant, beautiful shot.
And I'm just like, and that's when fucking metal starts playing. Should he starts playing this? It's like, it's like, kill these motherfuckers. Grab an AK, Steve. Just grab an AK. Give Nancy a rifle.
I have my ice cream scoop.
Give the lesbian a gun. Fuck.
I'm sure she has one.
I bet she has one in season 4. Nancy was right. Keep that motherfucking thing on you.
But yeah, so in the process of all that, though, 11 collapses in front of the children with her wound pulsing. So that's not really good for 11 because now you're kind of seeing that when she gets attacked by things from the upside down, she really doesn't heal that fast because she has a little bit of healing power, but not now.
But like it's like her kryptonite. Like the upside down is her kryptonite. Like she's weakened by this. You know, you can hit her, you can do this, you can do that. But at the end of the day, she's like a Superman character. You know, but that one thing is what gets her. And in the next episode, we find out the Battle of Starcourt, which is a cool fucking name.
Oh yeah,
that sounds like some D&D.
Well, that's
shit.
why they named it Starcourt Mall, so they could call it Battle at Starcourt.
But like, it seems like a fantasy D&D like thing. And going into it, we find out that the wound prevents her from using her powers,
right?
Because it's an infection, basically. And I like how they added that to it just a little bit.
No, because it creates a good wrinkle and a good little chink in the armor that they can exploit.
Yeah, but it also makes you think like, oh wait, it never actually laid a hand on her before. So it's a good way to foreshadow, like, hey, this is what happens if she gets right up on it.
That's right. And then 11 rids herself of the piece of the mind flare embedded in her wound that was rendering her powerless. Hopper's group arrives and plans are made to take 11's group to safety. And then at the same time, because basically Hopper shows up and he's like, all right, kids, out of the pool. He's like, the kids are leaving, we're not doing this, the adults are here, we're gonna save it. And the kids are like, no, fuck you, dude, we've killed monsters just like you have, we are qualified for this job, asshole. which I did find pretty cool, that the kids were kind of sticking up for themselves, because Hopper did kind of roll in being like, all right, out of the pool, that shit. And they're like, no, fuck you, old man. We can do this too. Yeah. We're going to work with you, whether you like it or not. We're a team.
This is an entire party, motherfucker.
Yeah, look around you. We have 10 of us. You're gonna send us all home? We've fought these demons before too, man. Let's knock this shit out.
This is the part where Erica should have been like, back up, cop.
Yeah.
And
Lucas is just like, bitch, stop.
We're the only black people in this town.
You need to chill. Hopper's been cool to me before. Don't fuck this up. So then the others attack the mind flare with fireworks, because by this point, Billy and the mind flare trap 11's group inside the mall. So they can't even leave anyway.
I just love the safety and abandoned of just lighting fireworks inside of a building. I know it's a large open building, but god damn.
It's the 80s, man.
Yeah, fuck it. It's the 80s.
Fuck it. Shoot some fireworks off. Go see
do a little bit of
go
coke.
see an Evil Dead movie.
Just go watch Evil Dead, get a little bag of coke, buy the restrooms at the mall, get the new Purple Rain album. Yeah. It's awesome. Rapture by fucking Blondie's played on the fucking stereo.
And then by this point, Billy has kind of come to his senses and sacrifices himself to protect 11, Max, and Mike. Hopper then fights and kills the Russian Terminator, getting trapped with the machine in the process.
So this is a very cool scene where it's kind of like a redemption for Billy's character, because the last thing he sees is Max.
Yeah. And
he realizes this is it. Either way, I'm done. I'm dead. Let me just knock this out. One last thing. And it's a great redemption arc, really, for him, because it's the one good thing, and it counts most of all.
Right.
And there's a lot of, if you think about it, in the third season, there's a lot of the good guys getting got, but not a lot of the bad guys, because the bad guys are actually winning. This is like the Empire Strikes Back of the series.
Right.
And the bad guys are just killing people left and fucking right. And it's like, God damn, they're kicking ass.
Yeah.
But the turn, the heel, Billy.
It kind of gives him that little bit of, again, doesn't forgive him.
No, he did try to run over a kid.
Yeah.
With a Pontiac.
Because of the skin color.
Yeah.
So, like, there's just some stuff you really can't fully forgive. But, he's at least redeemed. Someone can be redeemed, but not fully forgiven for all actions.
And with that being done, it's like, okay, cool. Now we can go from Billy sacrificing himself. But on the other end, we're going to lose a bad guy, but now we're going to lose a hero.
Yeah.
With Hopper.
Yep.
So, like, with him being stuck, I saw it from a mile away. I was just like,
I was yelling at the screen. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. They drug out that scene for multiple, like, cutaways, too. And you're just like, quit dragging it out. Quit dragging this out.
Drag it out. Just drag it out. Yeah. Shoot him in the leg a little bit. And you're just like, pow. I'm dying.
Yeah. But it's like, when he exploded, my heart just sank. I was just like, fuck. Because he was the one character I really felt like they weren't going to fuck with. And then it was just like, God damn it. But yeah, with Hopper seemingly being disintegrated in the process, with everything getting exploded, the mind flare dies as Dr. Owens arrives with the military forces.
Yeah. So fucking late.
Yeah, well, just as the military does.
I don't know. Not lately.
Yeah. But then 3 months pass and the deaths are all covered up. Starcourt is destroyed and disgraced, and Klein is arrested. And by this point, they're basically kind of covering it up, being like, oh, there was just a... I forget what they said, but it did turn into kind of like this massive government cover-up scheme.
And it kind of works itself out, because you need that.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember this takes place in Middle America. Hawkins is, I believe, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I like the cover up part of it. I just would love like a 2-minute scene of like two guys in black suits going to Murray's house, telling him, "You will never talk about this again." And just like put like a cigar cutter on his pinky and like, "We'll take a goddamn finger." Like, and like he's like, "Fine, fine."
Basically, yeah.
And I was like, fine, I won't talk about it. Jesus Christ. He's like, "You don't know any Russians named Alexei."
No.
If anyone asks, you had a friend named Alex.
Yeah.
You had corn dogs and went home.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing happened. Nothing
I swear to God. I swear to God.
And then they're just like, "We're going to take a tip of the pinky." No, no, no.
The Byers family and a still powerless 11 prepare to move out of Hawkins, which at this point, when I was seeing this part of the scene, I was kind of sitting here going, well, what are they going to do now? Like, is this really the last season? Like, it really did feel like this could be the wrap-up, you know? Mike and Levin confess their love for each other and make plans to meet again at Thanksgiving, which that started breaking my heart, because I was just like, they finally, say I love you to each other, and he's like fucking moving, and it's just like, it's just like, damn. But then back in Russia, guards are instructed to feed a prisoner, quote, but not the American, to a captive Demogorgon.
Yeah,
so it kind of leaves it where they're like, oh shit, we still have not gotten rid of all the evil
what's cool
people.
Is this is actually a callback to something Owen says in the season 2 is, hey, we're not the only ones working on this. And, they left it kind of open-ended, but now we know.
Yeah.
And,
because other shit's happening overseas.
Yeah, so like there's no...
In Russia.
And that goes for a lot of things, especially like during the Cold War around this time. It's just like, yeah, they're looking into the crazy fucking shit that we're looking into. They're looking into fringe science like we are.
Now, one of the other cool things they've kind of had throughout the series anyway, but they really kind of put in the forefront of this series was kind of wrapping in real world events to what's happening in the show. So with all the Russian stuff that's happening, do you think that the mind flare, the upside down and stuff could be connected to Chernobyl?
Well,
to kind of like, make it that weird little, alternate universe timeline thing of real life.
I could see like that would be a cool pull, because Chernobyl, but the problem is that Chernobyl happens in 1986.
Yeah,
but it's 1984. So
you don't right now.
So
we don't know what season 4 has. They may have time jumped some, because you do notice the kids do look a lot older in this season.
Especially Will.
Yeah, so it's not too far-fetched to think they may have, because actually no, this season was because it showed the flashback to 84 and then it said a year later. So this series happened in 85. So even if it was just a year later, that would be 86.
Yeah. That would be a cool pull. I see that a lot though in science fiction that happens, like especially 80s science fiction, because they use it in the Transformer movies. Like, hey, there's what happened in Chernobyl? Oh, it's Transformers. It's like, oh, okay, fine, all right, cool thing.
I just think they could write this a little better than maybe Transformers.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is like it seems like you're using a tragedy as a backdrop, because they do that at the horror movie Chernobyl Diaries. It's like, oh no, people were still here. They got trapped. It's like, and like just the horror that is Chernobyl is nothing but death. So if they were to do like, hey, a one line of dialogue, hey, we tried in Chernobyl, we failed, but we got it right here. In I think it's Konchenta, which is where they are in Russia, which is near the Ural Mountains. But yeah, it seems like it'd be a cool pull.
Yeah,
but but Chernobyl isn't really,
and I find it funny that we're speculating on this, but the series is already out.
Yeah,
but it's like I outside of the main trailer showing that there was going to be a season 4, I've not watched any extra stuff for it. I've really stayed away. So all the speculation I'm making is purely from speculation alone. I've been able to kind of stay away from the new season.
Yeah, all I saw was that one trailer you showed me,
Yep.
and hear nothing but that fucking Kate Bush song.
Oh yeah, and then the final stinger, we got this like a year and a half ago. It was a Comic-Con trailer. And this is actually a good way to wrap up this episode as we lead into season 4 finally, and that'll be coming in probably about a month or two when we get the second part of the season and we can do like a full wrap up. But I was watching that with my ex, and when Hopper blew up, I was just like, no. And she's like, calm down. She goes, go to YouTube. I got something to show you. So I pull up YouTube. She connects her phone. She plays me the Comic-Con trailer, which shows like this slow zoom in across the snowy field. This kind of zooms in on this bald guy, and then he looks up, and it's Hopper. And I'm like, oh, shit, that was the American they're referencing at the end of, the thing. And she's like, yeah, you get to see that in a few minutes. I had to wait over a year to see that. Yeah. So during that time, though, again, I watched all of this kind of like back to back over the span of about a month. After watching that trailer, though, I remember when the trailer came out months prior. And I saw people freaking out. Oh my God, season 4 of Stranger Things. And like sharing the trailer. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll watch it. So I click it. And I remember watching it, not knowing anything about the series. Going in blind. Yeah. And all I get is snow and then the zoom in on a face and then Stranger Things season 4. I'm just like, fucking Stranger Things fans, shut the fuck up.
Well, there's like
and now I'm sitting here on the flip side being like, yeah.
I'm kind of curious. So from what I understand, they're introducing some new characters. It's a
new dungeon master type character.
Yes, who's grown a lot of popularity. But just going into what I know of the synopsis is Joyce and them moved to the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Because they were talking about like why they look so different.
Right.
So like why does Nancy and Robin and Steve all look kind of like this plain Jane Midwest look, and then you see 11 in high school with like poofed up hair, bright, pastels and shit. Right. It's like, oh no, that's what the West Coast look like, because everybody forgets America is 2 different fucking sides of an ocean.
Oh yeah.
So there is a style that goes in, and you're coming up on if they do a time jump of 1 year, it would be 1986, maybe fall of 86, because it's
the fall of 86.
That sounds like a metal song, not a pop song.
The fall of 86.
And it shows like a rocket exploding, Chernobyl blowing up. People say,
Things season 4.
We discovered climate change. Just like, God damn it. 86 was a terrible year. In the grand scheme of things, 86 was a terrible year.
Except for being a white male.
Oh, no, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, doing all right. I have to show you that after we wrap up this episode of Stranger Things Season 3 Retrospective. I'm stoked for Season 4. I'm about to start watching that shit probably starting tomorrow. But for the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex and Chris. I just want to know, do you have any sort of final thoughts for us?
So with us seeing what the final villain's going to look like, all I want to see is this Nancy saying eat shit and just put it to its stem and just blow its fucking brains out. And then they're like, we don't need magic. We just need a gun.